Well, hi, guys.
Michael, go ahead.
We're back. How you guys doing?
I just want to mention this is the famous Computer Cafe.
Is that where we are?
Well, Rick said I didn't say it yesterday, and he thought there was something wrong with that, so that's where we are.
Well, he didn't know where we were. We were at the famous Computer Cafe.
Really?
Hi.
Where was he?
This is Andy Velkoff.
And I'm Ellen Walker.
And I'm Michael Walker.
And we are here at the famous Computer Cafe talking about the world of personal computers. Of course, our special guest today is Barbara Elman, who has a lot of interesting things to say about word processing and the whole world of that in Hollywood and using it for scripts and all sorts of interesting things. Ellen, what are we giving away today?
This week, the famous Computer Cafe is giving away the computer preparation for the SAT or the GRE from Harcourt, Brace, and Jovanovic. You know, these programs are designed to increase your score on either of these exams. And as I mentioned yesterday, the SAT is coming up January 26th and the GRE on February 2nd. So call in today with your questions and win one of these great programs. We will choose one of you at the end of the program to be our winner.
Okay, so the phone numbers and the lines are open in Los Angeles, 628 KIEV. All of our numbers end with KIEV. San Fernando Valley, 989. Glendale, Burbank, 956. San Gabriel Valley, 443. South Bay, 835. Orange County, 714 area, 739. And West LA, 837. Of course, they all end with KIEV. Well, we're going to take a break right now, and when we come back, we're going to hear from Ellen in the News and Salad Bar Corner.
If Lotus had given you just one,
a spreadsheet that's up to 50 times faster than other spreadsheets, with every statistical and financial formula you'll ever need, and the largest workspace on the market.
that would have been enough. And if Lotus had given you just two,
information management, to store and organize information with the ability to cross-index over 2,000 records by 32 criteria, and use information from other programs and computer systems.
that would have been enough. And if Lotus had given you just three,
Graphics, to graph information from your spreadsheet in less than 2 seconds, and change that information, touch a key, and graph the new results instantly. Graphics as a thinking tool.
that would have been enough.
But Lotus has given you more. Text editing, tutorials, a help key, and a host of features which give Lotus 123 its power and simplicity.
Lotus 123 is available at the Software Spot, 10977 Santa Monica Boulevard in West Los Angeles, or phone 213-477-7561. That's 213-477-7561.
The Software Spot, the oldest independently owned and operated software store in Los Angeles. A soft sell dealer.
Hi, this is Ellen, and I'm over here at the News and Salad Bar. So while you were eating a little salad, we'll give you some news. Actually, for today's news, I thought I'd just run through some of the products that were announced at the Consumer Electronics Show. There's lots of new products, and I'm sure you'll be seeing them in the stores in the next few months, so we'll give you a little preview. In the game department, Simon & Schuster has announced the Great International Paper Airplane Construction Kit for the Macintosh. This is based on a best-selling book of the same name, which has been the source of contests, films, and even a few doctoral theses. It consists of a set of paper airplane templates and a library of graphics. The planes can be customized with a wide variety of insignias and ornamentation. They even let you put little stewardesses and stewards on there. And the best part is, after you print them out on your image writer, you can fly them. This game sells for $39.95. Scarborough has also announced a Macintosh program written by Tom Snyder, an accomplished software author, that's an adult business simulation adventure. To effectively master the game, you have to build the Aloha guitar manufacturers into a thriving conglomerate while manipulating your personal accounts, facing the ups and downs of the stock market and the interplay of current events at the same time. You have to handle inventory control, productivity problems, research, the development of managerial talent, and the fluctuating prices of raw material. The program is called Make Millions. From Infocom, the newest interactive fiction game is a mystery called Suspect. To introduce the program, Infocom held a party at CES where each guest was invited to figure out who done it. Michael and Andy will tell us a little bit more about that in a few minutes. The game, written by the author of Zork, David Lebling, asks the player to assume the role of the main character, a newspaper reporter, invited to a high society costume ball. The hostess is murdered and all the evidence points to you. You have a few hours to prove your innocence to the police detective and figure out who the real killer is. This Suspect sells for $44.95 and is available for the Apple, Atari, Commodore, IBM, and Macintosh. And last but not least in this department, Mindscape, in conjunction with Lucasfilms, has introduced Indiana Jones and the Lost Kingdom. You knew it was coming, right? This software claims to present a new concept in software for the Commodore 64. The object of the game is to retrieve an artifact containing the complete history and knowledge of a lost and forgotten civilization. Mindscape is providing a hotline for those players whose level of frustration gets a little too high to handle. The game is fully animated with high-res color graphics and is selling for $29.95. In educational software, Simon & Schuster has announced a lot of new games. One is Kermit's Electronic Story Maker for children aged 4 and above, which allows the child to create lots of absurd questions as long as they're grammatically correct, and the child will see the sentences acted out on the screen accompanied by music. You know, Miss Piggy flying in a cloud and things like that. The Great Gonzo in Word Writer, another program, is a strategy adventure game for children aged 5 and up that helps kids develop their reading, vocabulary, and word usage skills while helping the Great Gonzo rescue his love, Camilla the chicken, from the Swedish chef. I can hardly stand the suspense. Both games are sold in Simon & Schuster's spiral-bound browsable packages, which lets you look at the documentation before you buy the program. The programs are available for Apple and Commodore. And Simon & Schuster also announced a program for children aged 9 through 13 called ChemLab. The program contains 50 problems of varying degrees of difficulty to be solved through chemical experimentation. The kids can advance from lab assistant to Nobel Prize winner. They mix, heat, and combine chemicals on the screen. You have 2 robot arms for handling chemicals and equipment, Bunsen burners, and lots of chemicals. ChemLab uses real chemical properties and simulates actual chemical reactions, including melting, glowing, and even explosions. When you and I were young, we got chemical sets. Now you get ChemLab. ChemLab costs $39.95 for the Commodore, IBM PC, and Apple computers, and will not be available until May of this year. So listen, guys, tell us a little bit about CES. It sounds like there were some neat things, and this is only the first shopping bag I went through of press releases, so I'm sure there was a lot more.
We had a terrific time. There were displays and products, there was hardware, there was software, all sorts of things. I'm afraid that I didn't get to see nearly as much as I wanted to because there was just so much. There were probably close to 100,000 people in booths all over Las Vegas. But two of the things that I think are really interesting are the machines that have come out in the personal computer world. One, of course, is the Commodore 128. And Commodore is real excited about that. It looks like they're going after Apple's market. It's a machine that will run Commodore 64 software. It'll also have a 128 capability. And it also has CP/M capability, so it'll run a lot of programs. I don't think they've announced the price yet, but the rumor is
somewhere under 300.
Something like that. It's going to be extremely low priced. At the same time, I mean, they had Commodore's booth at one end, and then you could see kind of across a couple of aisleways there was Atari, and of course Jack Tramiel, who used to be the head of Commodore, is now the head of Atari. And they have their ST computers coming out. They range from $400 to $600, and they're Macintosh-like. Upwards of 512 memory, and we're looking at tremendous competition. We're looking at lots of machines, things that I think are going to be really good for the consumer in the sense that these companies are now going after the marketplace. They're going after one another. They're going after Apple's marketplace, and to some extent they're going after IBM's marketplace, although they wouldn't admit as much. Well, Commodore would, but going after the PC Junior success. And what we're going to be seeing are more and more powerful computers at lower and lower prices.
The thing that we're really looking forward to is a lot of the software development. I mean, a couple of the neat things that I had an opportunity to take a look at is the world of music is incredible with what's going on. I mean, I'm one of those kind of guys who learned how to play the drums but always wished I could play the piano. But, you know, it was kind of like how people feel about computers. Oh, it would take me too long to learn, so I'm never going to get started. So 5 years later, they always say, I wish I woulda. Well, with this new software, you could actually learn how to play a computer as well as a piano. Commodore 64, they've got a product called the music processor. We're going to be talking about word processors in a little bit, but they have a thing called music processor. They're also really focusing on, they say that the magic of these new Atari machines is this chip that has been developed that's really going to allow you to use your microcomputer like you would use some of those big synthesizers. You know how like Stevie Wonder and some of the guys use those synthesizers? Well, you're going to be able to turn your computer into a real sophisticated music system. The neat thing is, you know, Ellen was talking about when we were kids, we had chemistry sets. And Magic has a product that's coming out for all you football fans out there that allows you to play football. I mean, this is it's a sophisticated football program that allows you to take the place of both teams and then call plays and actually throw the pass. And the moment that you're the quarterback releasing the ball, you then take the responsibility of the flanker back who catches the ball and runs for a touchdown. It's incredible. Not to say that, you know, outside of the world of software, you guys are gonna see some hardware that television companies are coming out with. I think I talked a little bit about digital television and the whole idea that we may see television in the next couple of years taking the place of some personal computers with a lot of the chips that are being put into them today.
It's just incredible, and every month something new comes out, and we're really sitting on the edge of a whole technological revolution, and the famous Computer Cafe is going to be right there along with it.
You're no kidding. As a matter of fact, we made some great contacts with some neat people we're going to have as guests here as we come along.
Well, speaking of guests, right after this break, we're going to come back and talk with Barbara Elman.
Bank Street Writer by Broderbund is the one-word processing program that is unpretentious enough to be used at home by both children and adults, yet is sophisticated enough to meet most small business needs, too. Bank Street Writer is packed with powerful features that have made it the most popular home word processing program in the world. There are no complex codes to memorize. Directions are at the top of the screen every step of the way. Bank Street Writer gives you sophisticated features like automatic word wrap, universal search and replace, automatic centering, and easy storage and retrieval of anything you write, complete with password protection. Bank Street Writer also comes complete with a special tutorial on the back of the disk that teaches the basics of word processing. A comprehensive reference manual and free backup disk are also included. Want to try your hand at Bank Street Writer? Then follow your feet down to Strictly Software at 14617 Prairie Avenue in Lawndale. Or you can call 213-970-1242. Strictly Software, a soft sell dealer.
Well, hi, we're back. We're here at the famous Computer Cafe. This is Andy Velkoff, and I'm sitting and talking with Barbara Elman. Barbara, welcome to the cafe.
Thank you.
Of course, Barbara, you know, I know you're very involved in word processing and things, and you were here by way of Steve Didlia, who we had on the show here at the famous Computer Cafe.
Right.
And your connection with him was being part of the Digital Deli, wasn't it?
That's one of the things that I've done with him. I contributed an article in coordination with Rita Arrow, who's another computer journalist, on the ABCs of word processing. And Steve asked us to write this article because I did a lot of consulting and writing about using computers for writing. So we made the article fun to read and for people who write.
Well, I know for a lot of people who write about the world of personal computing, and in your case, word processing, they've come from very unusual areas and very different backgrounds. How did you get into it?
I got into it by being a great script typist. I worked in the entertainment industry in Chicago for several years and then came out to Hollywood with a friend of mine who had written a screenplay. His name was Mike Gray, and that screenplay ultimately became The China Syndrome. While The China Syndrome was in production, Mike ended up getting a word processor. This was in 1978, before you had all this variety to choose from. And he was a two-fingered typist, so he asked me to learn how to run it for him and teach him what he needed to know. So I spent 2 days with 6 legal secretaries learning a Wang word processor, and I came back hooked. And that was the beginning of a love affair.
Now, you yourself use a word processor to do your own writing.
Right.
What has that meant to you in terms of your ability to translate your ideas onto the printed page?
Well, I type about 90 words a minute on typewriter. So what the computer does is allows me to put down onto a screen, not onto paper, my thoughts as fast as I can type them. And for me, that's pretty fast. For other writers, it gives them the freedom to put their words on a computer faster than they can on typewriter, especially if they're slow typists.
Well, now, if someone is interested in using a word processor as for script writing or for writing a book or for writing letters or whatever, is it the same thing as going in and buying a computer to do business plans or to do accounting or spreadsheets or to play games for that matter?
Well, not at all, although there are some relatable uses and factors in there. But when you're buying a computer for writing, you're marrying the machine. I mean, writers sit at a typewriter more hours a day than they talk to their loved ones. And you have to really like the way the machine feels and like the way the disk drives sound and like the way the program works, or you're going to find that brilliant thought that was sitting in your mind waiting to get on paper is gone while you're trying to figure out how to run the machine. When you're doing accounting, you can stop for a few minutes and come back to it and not lose your place.
What's your experience been, for instance, when you go into a computer store, a hardware store, a software store, obviously, whether you're buying hardware or software, whichever store you go to, do you find that people in computer stores are helpful to writers in finding the things they need to do?
I would have to say that in Hollywood, they're more helpful now than they used to be, and they're more helpful here in Los Angeles and probably in New York than they are anywhere else in the country. And that's only because so many writers have walked in and beaten the salesman over the head to help them understand why their work is different than business letters and educated them in the process.
How is it different?
Well, in most cases, you're writing something longer than a business letter. In film scripts, which is my area of specialty, you're changing the margins many times per page, and your page endings are different than a novel where the paragraph can be cut off anywhere and not make a problem in reading the page. So there are a lot of variables between one type of writing and another type of writing.
So it's really a different experience. I mean, there's letters and there's scripts, and depending on what you want to do, would you advise someone who's a writer when they go into a computer store, whether they're buying hardware or software, to be very specific and very clear about where they're going and what they want?
Definitely. They should actually take some of the work they're going to do on the machine and have the salesman show them how to do that from beginning to end through revising and printing out. And if the salesman can't get the machine to do it in a way that they like, they shouldn't buy that machine because they probably won't be able to figure out once they get home how to do it any better.
Okay, well, we've got a couple of calls on the line. Hi, you're on the line at the famous Computer Cafe. Who are we speaking with?
This is Dick.
Hi, Dick. What's your question for Barbara?
Unfortunately, I don't have a question for Barbara, but I do have a couple of general questions, if that's okay.
Well, shoot.
Yeah, the first question is, I'm interested in getting hold of a personal income tax preparation software package, and I'd like some information on what's available.
Okay. It's funny you should ask that this time of year.
Yes, it is.
I guess we're all looking at April 15th. There are, I know that there are a few on the market. Michael, doesn't Simon & Schuster have one? Or is it CBS software?
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll make sure we find out, and we'll get back with you on the line.
We've been talking with, because obviously this time
it's like a specific kind of question, and now that I'm glad he brought it up, because now we know that that's exactly what people are looking for. We can find out and let you know if you listen for tomorrow.
Fine, I'll do that.
Okay. What was your second question?
Second question was a database program for, we do a lot of traveling, and I gather information on places we've stayed, the cost, and so forth. And what kind of a database program would I need to record all that information?
You know, there's several different kind. Would you say that you're a pretty sophisticated kind of computer user?
No, I just got a computer a month ago.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, one that I kind of got used to real easy was on the PFS. PFS has a thing called PFS File. Now, it basically allows you to file your information and keep it kind of in a nice, neat order, and it allows you to access it real simple. I think you get 4 different options on the main menu, and you can just push accessing one of the particular things, and if you want the name of your particular person, you can find it by name, or if you want it by place, you can find it by place, and only have the first 2 letters. I think PFS is an excellent first beginning product for database management for a first-time user.
Fine, that's what it would be then.
Okay.
Well,
It comes out with an Apple and an IBM.
That's fine.
Super. And we'll get the other information for you tomorrow.
Great. I'll listen tomorrow.
Thanks very much for your call, Dick. We're going to take a break right now, and when we come back, we'll take some more calls and some more talk with Barbara Elman. You're at the famous Computer Cafe. We'll be right back.
SuperCalc 3 by Sourcem is a spreadsheet that's extremely easy to use, swift, and powerful, and it's priced lower than most other leading spreadsheet programs. SuperCalc 3 has all the built-in functions expected in a high-quality spreadsheet, and a lot more. SuperCalc 3's features include an on-screen help function, spreadsheet consolidation and sorting capabilities, calendar and date calculations, simple data management, functions, and windowing. The integrated graphics capability is superbly presented, allowing plotting and printing of charts in up to 99 colors. SuperCalc 3 provides you with the ability to create pie charts, bar charts, line charts, and XY graphs. The graphics are integrated into the command structure, so once you learn SuperCalc 3, plotting and graphing the results of your calculations is as easy as pie. To get a taste of the simplicity and power of SuperCalc 3, walk into Simply Software, where they'd love to whip up a quick demonstration. Simply Software is located at 3001 Sepulveda Boulevard in Manhattan Beach, or call 213-546-2467. That's 213-546-2467. Simply Software, a soft sell dealer.
Well, hi, we're back. We're here at the famous Computer Cafe. This is Andy Velkoff, and we've been talking with Barbara Elman. Barbara, let's take another call.
Fine.
Hi, you're on the line at the famous Computer Cafe.
Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Fine.
I have a Macintosh, and right now there's only one word processor out for it, so I didn't have to worry about what to look for in a word processor, but hopefully pretty soon there'll be more programs out. What should I look for when I decide to upgrade to a new word processor?
Look for one that does what you need. I mean, that's pretty simplistic advice, but not all of them do everything for every use. So take your use and try them all out and get the one that does what you like.
Are there any features in particular that should be standard in any word processor?
Well, being able to put in macros, which is putting a lot of information in one key so you can call it back very quickly, is a really handy feature. I know Microsoft Word has that and has become real popular because of it. So that should be out soon for the Macintosh, and that's one you should look at.
Okay. Any other features that are necessary? Right now I'm a student, and I just need to write 3 or 4 page essays. Is there anything basic to that task?
No, that's one of the simple tasks. But if you're going to be doing footnoting, you'd better make sure that your program can do footnotes in a way that brings the footnote to another page if the text that it relates to moves around.
Okay, are you aware of any other programs besides Microsoft Word that will be coming out for the Macintosh?
Not for the Macintosh, but your best bet is to look in the Macintosh magazines because they advertise and review everything as soon as it comes out.
Okay, well, thanks very much for your call. You're on the line at the famous Computer Cafe.
Hi, my name is Ruth.
Hi, Ruth.
We've just purchased a compact personal computer, and I'm becoming acquainted with WordStar. We'll be using it primarily for text editing, and I'm finding it pretty easy to work with. I'm reading several manuals about WordStar, and several times I've come across the statement, what you see on the monitor is what you get, with a few exceptions. And what I'm trying to find out is what the exceptions are, so I can be prepared for that.
I think the exceptions that they're talking about are the control codes that you happen to see when you put in Control B or Control S or some of the WordStar's famous control codes for printing features. So you see extra letters on your line that don't relate to the words, but your words will print out exactly the way they are, with the last word on the line being what prints on that line on the paper.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Ruth. Hi, you're on the line at the famous Computer Cafe.
Yes, Heather. I have a question for like the entire group.
Okay, who are we speaking with?
Okay, first of all, my name's Jeff. I'm calling from Woodland Hills.
Okay, Jeff.
Great. Okay, I'm looking for a computer, okay, that can handle some small business needs, but also some educational things. Now, I was reading there in this month's Playboy the Stephen Jobs interview of Apple, and he made a comment that if IBM is a primary supplier of all the computers, you know, that if they win the big big computer battle that we are going to go into a computer dark ages for 20 years. And so I was wondering what you guys thought of that.
Well, we can each take a shot at responding to that. I'll just say that I think what he's referring to is something that's not particularly unique to computers, but really bears upon the whole issue of competition in the marketplace. And of course, I haven't read the article yet. I've heard about it. I am going to get a hold of it. But what we're talking about is his point of view that competition, I assume, really lends to a variety of options for the end user. Michael, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I think that, if anytime you have only one company or one anybody calling the shots, it begins to limit the amount of creativity that a mass audience might be able to take advantage of. And Apple, as most of us know, have really kind of been a very innovative company in the world of personal computers and have spawned a tremendous amount of creativity. There's going to be a lot of things in that same area that are going to be coming out. So, I'm kind of for open-endedness in that world. How about you, Barb?
Well, I'd relate it to the film industry and TV. You see a lot of duplication. When one film or TV show comes out and is successful, you see lots and lots of others like it. I think that is more like IBM, while Apple and some of the smaller companies are like the independent producers who are more willing to take risks and do films that are a little bit different and TV shows that not everybody will watch, but a special few will enjoy.
Okay, Jeff, thanks very much for your call. We've got time for one more quick one. Hi, you're on the line at the Famous Computer Cafe.
Hi, my name is Danny.
Danny, hi, Danny.
Hi, and I got, Apple IIe.
Right.
I got two questions for Barbara.
Okay, well, one at a time.
All right, regarding word processing, are there any word processing for the youth like me?
Well, Bank Street Writer is a really good one. That was designed, in fact, at a school and is very easy to use, is great for people in school and also for business executives who want a simple, easy-to-use word processor.
Okay, Danny? Okay, one more quick one, Danny.
All right, how much does it cost?
It's under $100. I'm not sure what the retail price is, and you might find it discounted. So check your local computer stores.
Thanks, Danny. Take care. Hi, you're on the line at the Famous Computer Cafe. Can you make a quick one?
Yeah, this is Jay calling, and I wanted to ask Miss Elman, do you know if there's any software for the IBM that'll format for documentary film formatting?
Do you mean the two-column audio-video formatting?
Exactly.
That's a large problem, and everyone's looking for that. The only one that comes close to it right now is WordPerfect, and that can do the two columns, but separates them one above the other on screen and prints them properly on the page.
Oh, I see. WordPerfect.
WordPerfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay. Okay, Barbara, we still have calls, and we're not going to be able to get to any more, but we have your names for the contest, folks. Barbara, I want to thank you for joining us here at the cafe. As always, never enough time. There are tons of things I want to get into. I understand your 5-year-old uses a computer. Is that right?
Right. She has a Commodore 64 at school and a VIC-20 at home.
That's terrific. What are your plans for the future?
Well, I'm working on a novel and some screenplays and may possibly do a computer resource guide for writers this year.
Okay, listen, we'd love to have you back at the cafe sometime. Would you like to be here again?
That would be great.
Okay, thanks. Folks, we're going to be right back to wrap up and announce our winner after this message.
Start with the world's best-selling database system. Give it enhanced features to make it faster, more powerful, and easier to use, and you have the makings of a software heavyweight. DBase 3, Ashton Tate's hot new package for your 16-bit PC. With DBase 3, you can create records with up to 128 fields, access 10 files at once, and run other programs like communications or word processing without leaving DBase 3. You can read non-DBase files from other software programs or mainframe databases. And you can easily convert your DBase 2 files and programs to DBase 3. If you get stuck, help is at your fingertips with multiple help screens. And where do you go to see this powerful new program? Go see David and Betty Sun at Sun Computers in the city of Carson. They'll tell you what you need to know about DBase 3 and more. Sun Computers is located at 20925 South Bonita in Carson. Or call 213-538-8338. That's 213-538-8338. Sun Computers in Carson, a soft cell dealer.
Well, guys, Thanks again for joining us here at the famous Computer Cafe. As always, it's been a great show. Ellen, who's our winner?
Our winner today is Joel Heller. Congratulations, Joel. You certainly have put in your time to win this one. So we'll be sending you your SAT preparation program.
Michael?
For the gentleman who called in,
Dick,
we have 2 different programs that we found called Tax Preparer, which looks like it's a good one for basic people. It has all the updated information on IRS files for tax, and also for a little bit more advanced one called the Master Tax Planner. So you might want to take a look at both of those, and they're probably available at most software stores.
And if you want to call us, you can do that at 394-7242. We'll give you more information.
Thursday, Dr. Disc, our on-air guru, will be here to answer questions. So call in your questions for Thursday, Friday, Ed Thompson. We'll see you tomorrow.